Again, welcome to Dallas Cowboys headquarters. This is a very important episode. We are talking about the possible move that could completely change the future of the Dallas Cowboys defense. Dallas Cowboys are coming to the end of the very disappointing 2025 season. Fans are frustrated. The front office is under pressure, and the defense, once the pride of this team, is now in serious needs of rebuild. But sometimes, when a season ends badly, it opens the door for the big opportunity. Today we are talking about one of those opportunities. The Cowboys should strongly consider making a trade offer for the disgruntled Las Vegas Raiders star, five-time Pro Bowl pass slasher Max Crosby. This is not just rumor. This is not a fantasy football talk. There are real signs that the relationship between Max Crosby and the Raiders is cracking. And if that crack gets bigger, the Dallas Cowboys must be ready to act. Let us start by looking at where Dallas Cowboys are right now. 2025 season has been painful to watch. The team struggled with the consistency. The defense failed to make big plays. The pass rush disappeared at critical moments. The biggest shock came late in August when the Cowboys traded away All-Pro linebacker and edge rusher Micah Parsons. This was not a football decision alone. This was a relationship problem. Micah Parsons and the Cowboys front office slowly grew apart during a contract negotiation that started at the end of the 2024 season. The two sides could not agree on the money structure and long-term vision. Eventually, the Cowboys decided to move on. That single move completely changed the identity of the defense. Micah Parsons was not just a great player, he was the engine of the pass rush. He was the fear factor. The offensive coordinator had to plan their entire game around him. Once he was gone, the Cowboys defense lost its edge. The problem did not stop with the Micah Parsons trade. The Cowboys front office made another major mistake, hiring Matt Eberflus as a defensive coordinator. Reports suggest that the Cowboys focused on Matt Eberflus very early in the process, even before Brian Schottenheimer officially became the head coach. This hire did not work. When Micah Parsons was traded, Matt Eberflus was left with defensive that no longer had a true elite edge rusher. He was unable to create a strong pass rush with the remaining players. Quarterbacks had too much time. The secondary was exposed. Third downs became nightmares. Whether Matt Eberflus remains the defense coordinator in the 2026 or he replaced, one thing is clear. The Cowboys must add elite pass rushing talent, and the light pass rushers are very hard to find unless you trade for one. Enter Max Crosby is another option, of course. This is where Max Crosby enters the conversation. Max Crosby is a five-time Pro Bowl defensive end of the Las Vegas Raiders. He is known across NFL league for the relentless motto, toughness and leadership. Crosby does not take players off. He does not quit, and he does not accept losing. Early this season, at the trade deadline, the Dallas Cowboys actually contacted the Raiders about trading for the Max Crosby. The Raiders said no. Instead of the Cowboys shifted their attention to the New York Jets defensive tackle Quinnen Williams. They successfully completed that trade. Williams has been excellent in Dallas and continued his Pro Bowl level play, but now something has changed in the Las Vegas. Late in the season, the Las Vegas Raiders made a very controversial decision. They decided to sit Max Crosby for the final 2 weeks of the season. This decision was not due to the performance. It was not because of the Gillespie could not play. It was because the leaders are tanking. They are intentionally losing games to improve their draft position. Max Gillespie was furious. Despite dealing with the multiple injuries throughout of the season, Gillespie had not missed a single game. He wanted to keep playing and he wanted to compete. The Raiders ignored his wishes. This created a serious fracture between the player and the organizations. The Raiders are currently tied with the New York Giants for the worst record in the NFL. They did not have a franchise quarterback. For the Raiders front office, getting the number one overall draft picks is extremely important. For Max Gillespie, intentionally losing is unacceptable. This is a player who has spent 7 seasons fighting for the franchise that went to the 45 wins and 69 losses during his career. Loyalty only goes so far. Early this season, Max Gillespie publicly said he wanted to stay with the Raiders and continue playing for the Allegiant Stadium. The statement showed his character, it showed his loyalty, but circumstances changes. Being told to sit out of the games so your team can lose on purpose changes things. Now Max Gillespie may finally be open to trade, and the Raiders, who appear ready for the full franchise reset, may be willing to move him for the right price. This is the moment Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones must recognize, of course. This is the moment they make the call. Let us talk about what Cowboys should offer. First, Cowboys should not trade their own top first round draft pick. That pick is expected to be in the top whole half of the round and could land a top 10 talent. However, the Cowboys have other valuable assets. After acquiring Quinn Williams, the Cowboys' defensive line is overloaded with the defensive tackles. They signed Osa Odingizua 2 years on $80 million extension early in the offseason. They traded for Kenny Clark in August. They traded for Quinn Williams in October. This is too many defensive tackles. This creates an opportunity. The Cowboys should offer the first round draft picks to acquire from the Green Bay Packers in Micah Parsons trade. Defensive tackle Osa Odingizua, a third round draft pick in the 2027 draft. In return, the Raiders would spend and send Max Gillespie a fifth round draft pick in the 2027 draft. That gives Raiders a starting defensive tackle and 2 top 100 draft picks. From the financial perspective, this trade makes sense. Odingizua's salary would come off the Cowboys' books. There would be some accelerated bonus money, but 2026 salary cap impact would be nearly neutral. Max Gillespie has 4 years remaining on his contract. There is $116 million remaining on the deal. His base salary in the 2026 is $30 million. That is under $30 million per year on average. For the comparison, Green Bay Packers are about to pay Micah Parsons over $40 million per season. Max Gillespie is slightly below the Parsons, and Myles Garrett is pass rush, but the price defensive is massive. This is a value. Imagine a defensive line featuring Max Gillespie